Yo, what's up, PumpTown and friends? Welcome back. Oh, I made it public. Okay, I'll leave it there. PM tape read. I guess I should have did this before I launched the session, huh? That's okay. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all doing great, having a great NFP week. Might have to move my table a little closer so I can read the chat. Where you at the couch? Y'all sitting at a desk to trade for real? Why don't you just go get a job? Just kidding. Kind of not really. I don't want to sit at a desk. I don't know about you. See if we get a little volume up on the mic. No, we're good. Mic check. How y'all doing? What's up, Bellicose? Shout out off near Jer. Who's this guy? D. Oh my goodness, I remember you. I can't pronounce your name, but I remember you. You were a very astute leverage master that has moved on up. Congratulations. What's up? Yeah, let's put some retard juice in the chat for sure. What's up? Another name I can't pronounce. I'm not even gonna try, man. I'll just butcher it. So, we got some fun stuff happening here. I don't know about you, but I had fun this afternoon. This morning was a pain in the arse. I wasn't gonna try again until it did that doom dip there. I'll get into it, but like, I was looking for something specific and I moved my stop up too much. Also, I took a pyramid this morning, so pyramids ruin your good entries. Like, you be entering in the bottom, and then you pyramid, let's say here, and then your entry moves up, and it looks like trash. That doesn't look very cool. Although you're making a lot of freaking money. But, so it's not show-offable, basically. But I had taken my piece, I had moved my stop up, I got tagged here. One of these two buggers here tagged me out. I believe I was in again and I got stopped out again. Either way, I tried again right here, so I'll upload the recording of me taking a exit on this candle. And I closed it at about 700 ticks and I'm out of the position now. It just comes with the territory of getting stopped out, I guess. But let's take a look into price and I'll show you how I caught that bottom right there. So when I'm getting into the charts, the first thing I'm doing is I'm marking off midnight. This is a very sensitive time in the charts, and put a vertical and horizontal axis on there, and I'm looking for longs underneath there basically, and looking to take profit above. So essentially, I am looking to catch daggers, and then yeah. So my initial trade was the daily fair value gaps premium here, and it rose up and I was getting in on 5-minute candles, so my average entry price ended up being here or right in here. And then like when I took 2 out of the 3 off, then my entry price jumped way up here and I was like, oh, that was lame. So it came back down. Yeah, it must have been this candle here. It came back down and tagged me out. Maybe even this guy. I can't remember. It was a busy morning. But let's go to the daily time frame. And this was given to you last night in the update. And we had found this the day before on Monday. And really we should be using the inefficiency right here. It's kind of backwards, but you got to include it. So this is that daily fair value gap. Now just notice where the daily's bottom is so far. Okay, so my original trade, as we were dropping into that green shaded area, I was looking to be a buyer in here. So I'm going to hop into the 5-minute chart. This guy, as it was coming up through this up close candle here, I entered again, and then I took a piece off, I believe, right here. And this was I know it could seem like I'm talking smack if you're new here, but my private students, they see my screenshots. They can call me out in the chat at any moment. I don't put on, so I don't understand why, but when I'm linked to my broker or a funded account, I'll lose the connection and my name will be displayed right across the screen, so I'm not doing that. So if you're wondering why I don't launch accounts on here unless I'm on a specific prop firm that doesn't show my name, that's why. So I won't be doing any AMP global live trades or any take profit pro trades or anything like that. When I do decide to go into Top Step, I will then trade live because it doesn't display my name. Continuing, and again, like, this was given to you last night in the update, not just publicly, but in the members area. I launched a tweet or a post just after midnight. So dropping down into our bullish buy zone here, why would we be wanting to do this? If you're new here, think about what you were doing in any asset. Just pretend it's crypto. You're chasing that. That's what you're doing. You are chasing this short because you think that's a sell-off. It's not. That's not a sell-off. That's generating the idea that it's a sell-off so that it could come railroad you later when you put your stops at this double top. That's what's going on here. Don't believe me? It's right in front of your face. And I played it. And I play this every single day, all week, every month, all year. I just wait for people to start chasing, and then I buy the price points that I feel that price might turn at, and then and if I'm offside, then whatever. I don't sit there and click the button and destroy myself. That's what the majority of you guys are doing, and I pray that you find at least a fraction of the self-control that I have. Because, man, yesterday I spent like 2 hours in absolute bliss. And it all started on the Shotgun Saturday. And I don't want to get into it. It's kind of personal, and someone's cutting onions in here. But when you finally figure this out and find your discipline, holy moly, you are going to throw up before you can ever touch the button again. Because you'll want to know why you're in here and what you're looking for. You always hear about patience and discipline, and 98% of you don't even know what you're being patient for. And it's when you figure out why you're being patient, you will gladly sit in the hot tub with the FOMO demon and have a drink. You'll become friends with that person, the better or worse half of you that is stopping you from capitalizing on ranges like this. Okay? We're not chasing price. We're anticipating people that are chasing price to get rated hard, just like here. So as price is coming up, it's making a bunch of models that we like. And there was a phenomenal trade in here. So the targets from the members update last night was I was aiming for the second deviation of the flout. And if you're new here and you don't know what flout is, it's not a big deal. It's really not that big of a deal. So that would be 1, that would be 1.5, and that would be 2. So this is the second deviation of that price range that we were interested in. Now I'm going into the daily time frame, and I'm lining that up with something in here. Well, there's the low of a giant fair value gap there. Consequent encroachment of this inversion fair value gap here. Now, do we get here today? I don't know. We could. It's NASDAQ. But that's hot. That's really hot. This is a balanced price range. It's not an inversion fair value gap anymore. It's been repriced to and balanced. So it was a fair value gap, but we don't just discard it because it's been repriced to. It becomes something else. Okay, so if we were to launch up into here this week, maybe even today, the signatures that come from a balanced price range, especially in the higher time frames, are pretty fun. They're typically very violent and one-sided and just right to targets. So we've had this going on here for quite some time, looking for major buy side liquidity. Now what this is a bunch of people who are short and are deeming this here an SR flip. Okay, they have no problems putting their stops at that swing high, and that's why we are attacking it. So it's going to be a little backwards than what you're used to, but enjoy the ride. Excuse me. So with these price points in mind, let's go back into a 5-minute chart. And so the beginning of our day, London basically doing diddly squat, which is nice. Now, this was annoying. When I woke up and I seen this, I was thoroughly annoyed. But it's not the be-all, end-all of determining if your day is going to suck. Now, the AM session did suck. It wasn't very good, and that's foretold by this here. Between 5 and 7 a.m., if you make a price run, you're going to have a choppy morning, like 80% of the time. And you're not going to find that on Google. You can't YouTube it. My mentor doesn't teach that. That's my discovery. And it's just go study it. London doing absolutely nothing just gives us the most awesome anticipation for a classic protraction profile. And if you don't know what that is, it is in the ICT core content. And months 1 through 8 will get you up to speed. So the flout here getting SR flipped, very cool. There's that double top right there. So as it's driving down here and hitting our higher time frame discount array, the discount fair value gap, this is what I used to key off of for my long. This is how I did it. Not the one in the screenshot from Twitter. I'll explain that in a bit. But this one here, this was the one from this morning with my private students. And that's just the logic for it. I'm looking at specific times to run down. I'm looking to put up some risk. If it's not super duper clear, then I'll wait for another opportunity to get another entry and like ladder up, I guess. My mentor calls it pyramiding. So we've taken the low of Asia's range and aiming for the high of Asia's range as a low hanging fruit objective. So we're gonna put the stop losses here. Now, why would we be aiming here if it was bearish? Because it's generating the idea that it's bearish so that it can railroad you later. That's what's really going on here. Don't believe me? Go check your days out, because it does this all day, every day, and it doesn't stop. So when London doesn't do nothing and I wake up, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, today's the day, baby. And so another reason for taking another shot here. I know I said I was done. You're going to be like, he broke the rules. I still had one more bullet in the chamber, okay? Get off my back. No, but I'll explain that in a moment and you'll understand. Let's see. So these guys chasing the short, basically they're declaring it over. SR flip, bearish engulfing candle, trust me bro, and then wham, right in their faces. Then it chops around here. Now this annoyed the bejesus out of me for real. Okay, so you guys seen that I had this breaker on. Or yeah, maybe it was my wife, I can't remember. We tag teamed this thing, it was sweet. So I was looking for this to get some gusto and want to come up into here at this time, but it was in a holding pattern. It was being really lethargic in here. The order flow wasn't kicking in quite yet. Now when I got stopped out with it was either here or both. I was in profit or at break even. As a matter of fact, this one was heavily in profit. That one got stopped out. And I believe I tried again, took a piece, got stopped out. And then I was like, okay, I really want to hit this lunch macro like I do. And I was like, nope, I'm not gonna. And then it came down, tagged where I would have had my stop if I was in it, come up, and then it looked like it was gonna go again. It didn't. It snapped down and took the stops here. And then it's working in this bullish breaker here. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So you see from the screenshot on Twitter, my execution right in here, my entry, right at the order block. And it was a little weird for a second, but that snap up right at 1:13 p.m. 1:12 p.m. being the low of that impulse. Private students, note that in your journals. Takes market structure actually here. Leaves a volume imbalance here. And the reason why that's so important is because if you were waiting for this fair value gap, guess what? You didn't get an entry. But if you included the volume imbalance like you're supposed to, you could have bought that down close candle. So if you're wondering why I'm buying this down close candle in other videos and executions and not waiting for the fair value gap, that's why. And you won't see the fair value gap on my chart because there's typically nothing on when I'm trading. So continuing the structure. So you've got your shoulder, head, right shoulder in your discount. I'm in on the order block. We got your ascending triangle here in your discount. I'm pointing it out because it dumped. When you're thinking, oh, selling pressure, look at this bear flag. Trust me, bro, it's got to keep going forever. Look at the double top. Yay. No, that's not how it works. I'm teaching you now. When you're dumping and you dumped into stop losses, you can look for your patterns here and they're going to be high probability. If you find a bull flag after a stop hunt, that thing is likely going to bang for you. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater on like pattern traders and all that. I'll teach you when this stuff bangs real good. Okay? You want to know when your flags are going to work out? Join us. Anywho, double top. The double top did its job, sure. Okay, it took it to low. You should have been able to get a 3-to-1 out of that double top. Easy. However, what's the problem? People don't pay themselves. And then it's over. Trust me, bro. It's got to go down forever now. Because selling pressure, right? Nope. So they don't pay themselves. And then they leave themselves exposed. And if they're really new, then they're moving their stops up here. And if they're even newer than that, then they're moving their stops up even more. Oh, this is where the sellers came in before. So there's no way price is coming up here. Wow. Magically, there's price going up there. Isn't that insane how that works? I know. You're floored. You now see why you're losing trades. You now see why breakout trading does not work. And that's the goal. But anyway, beautiful. If you're a pattern trader, that right there and that right there, these aren't cherry picked, you guys. I played them. And I didn't play the patterns just for pattern's sake. I was already in off this order block here. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think it was a 15-second chart. Yeah, I think it was this guy right here. Yeah, it was this order block here in the 15-second chart. As a matter of fact, and I might have seen a little bit of slippage on that, but that thing was awesome. Imagine catching the head in an inverted head and shoulder. Catching daggers. It's pretty sweet with no indicators. So that was the logic for wanting to take the trade. Now, this is the ICT one set up for life. It was timed a little bit differently today. Typically, we're looking for this little Judas at 1:30. So it was just a little ahead of schedule, but as well, so was this. This Judas here was a little ahead of schedule. We didn't get to 9:30 till here. You know what I mean? 9:30 opened up and then it traded down. So that would have been a proper entry, but this was good as well. Yeah, the Judas, the false move was just a little ahead of schedule today. So I was using that here as kind of like, okay, well, could it dump again? Sure, but the order block's there, so let's do it. Now, this is for your notes and what you're waiting for. The best, most sustained moves come from stop hunts. Okay? The best ones. You want to know when your trade's going to bang really good for you? Just look left. Did it take a bunch of people's stops out? So you look at this bull flag right here. Where does the books tell you to put your stops on the bull flag? Right here. Where else? Right here. So where did price go magically before turning around and running in the flag's direction, original direction? To the stops. Wow. It's almost like it's being a butt face on purpose. It is. So anyway, comes down, smacks into the bullish breaker. Now this is a 5-minute breaker here. And it was really hot. And started making the model here, so I just took my shot. That's all there is to it. And it ended up banging. So I got a recording of me taking an exit here. I was driving too. It was hilarious. You could see me fumbling the screen with my thumbs. It was hilarious. But anyway, it was either here or here. I took a piece and then I took a screenshot and just terminated the trade on this guy here when it was running up into Asia's range. And that's the logic for catching bottoms and selling tops, you guys. When you finally understand what you're doing, all these concerns that you have right now, they'll leave. They'll go away naturally because you'll have experience. Your experience will answer so many questions and deal with so many issues in your mind. Am I going to get this? Is this the right one? What's this guy doing? What's that guy doing? What's ICT saying in his Telegram? What's Master Frens saying on Twitter? You don't need that. You need to be in here studying. You need to get your hands dirty. And it doesn't matter what system you're playing. It doesn't matter at all. You could be playing friggin' rabbit, horseshoe, animal, back, crab patterns. You need to stick with it and go and get your hands dirty. And I've given you the magic sauce. Wait for a stop hunt. If you wait for people's stops to get taken out, you've pretty much got a sure trade. If you're gaining Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, don't trade Saturday. Make it a hard-line, full-stop rule that you don't ever touch Saturdays, and everybody who is touching Saturdays that's making gains, it's just going to ruin them later. And if you're new, well, and you don't listen, you'll figure it out. And if you've been trading for a while, you're like, wow, that's right, I do kind of get trashed on Saturdays. It doesn't do nothing. You know you're trading Bitcoin, okay? Because it just does this all Saturday. Seek and destroy. But that sets up the week. So it's good that it does that. We want Saturday to do nothing. And that gives us a little hint on what NASDAQ is going to do too. Yeah, God bless you, Ruggy. Shout out Lieutenant Dan Dangle, Darth Dude, man, this guy's been out of my mentorship for over a year and killing it. Like, there's two handfuls of you that are just doing amazing work, and I couldn't be more thrilled. That's, whew, good job. Well, let's go back test yesterday since we're all together. It was nice to see Michael do a review on all the stuff that I laid out in real time. That was, and then I'm having an emotional roller coaster over here. Like, am I pregnant or something? Like, what is going on? Because, it's hitting heavy. It's getting real heavy. Especially when you go and listen to old spaces of his, and he's telling you 2 years ago, he's telling you 3 years ago. It's just like, holy moly. And you didn't have a relationship for things that he was saying until you had experience. And he tells you this is going to happen. He tells you you're going to be a freaking monster. You put the work in, you're going to be out of control. And, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. London doing stuff. I really don't like, looking for a lot of risk when London's doing things. And I really just wanted to see price drop here yesterday to come and tag that fair value gap and make the Judas for the week here. It didn't get quite deep enough, and we've got this double bottom here. So I'm going to save this and have this on your charts for NFP. Just so you're aware, tomorrow and Thursday I will be completely flat, not trading whatsoever. I know I said that this afternoon, but this is different. When these 2 days are we don't care how long you've been disciplined, what your account size is, how long you've been growing it. The charts don't have any emotions. Just all of a sudden you can get a 300-point gap in the middle of nowhere for no reason at all, other than to come and liquidate you. And these are the next 2 days that it can happen. So I will be completely flat. But this is something I would like to see for tomorrow or Thursday. Dump down into there and grab those stops. And then, Wednesday into Friday. Dump down into here, grab these stops, and then make the low of the month down in here. I know it doesn't seem like that now that we're way up here. NASDAQ can do some funky things sometimes. Real funky things, so don't put it past it. We could come dap this and then just friggin' tank you guys, and that would be funny. As a matter of fact, we could get a midweek reversal this week. Tomorrow, come up here, dap this for NFP employment change, and then start sinking. I would love us to dip first, kinda. Tuesday typically making the high of the week, or Monday making the low of the week after hours investing. This is that's the game we play, right? Did we make the bottom here and we rip till Friday? Or did we, do nothing Monday, Tuesday high of the week, and then drop? Oh, this is so annoying. So the trick is higher time frames. So let's jump into the daily. And this is what I'm saying. The bottom of the week could be in, and that would suck. And then our May bottom could be somewhere in this range here, like on this, because this is breaker territory, you guys. Oh, we closed this candle today where we're at, and we have created a breaker. Now I know it didn't take this, okay, I get it, and if you wanted to argue that point, I would tell you to come into your settings in your symbol and turn your wicks off. Okay, this is a little secret maneuver here. Now there's liquidity buried in throughout here. So because this did tag the bodies here, I am considering this a higher high for the breaker. Now if you were using the wicks and you were like, oh, but you didn't make the higher high. Yeah, you did. So that's a little something extra for you. This liquidity void down here also drawing some concern. So again, this week in its delivery can be quite brutal. So just take it easy. I'm gonna leave this off the chart for now because it's NFP week and I don't trust it. I would want to see the breaker not used properly and then attack the fair value gap below it. So it could be this guy or it could be this guy, you guys. It's just like that's how we do. Just keep it simple. Reaching for the first deviation of the flout. Oh my goodness, that's so awesome. That's so awesome, man. I know the levels changed because we're in a different time frame. If you're using the 15-minute chart with your indicator, with it on 5-minute range calculation on the wicks, the indicator on a 15-minute chart will use the bodies of the 5-minute. I know that's kind of confusing. Typically, we're using the wicks in the futures market. Okay, typically, from that price range. If you go into the 15-minute, it uses the bodies of the 5-minute and gives you levels. They're sometimes off a little bit. There's no one better than the other. It's, you got to kind of consider them both. But I like that. What else? All right. Study this guy. So in the PM session, we just kind of went up and I had a line on my chart. And I was like, hey, maybe aim for here, maybe tomorrow, and we'll shut her down for the day. Well, son of a gun, she just went up there. So it wasn't really too obvious in the 15-minute. Let's drop it to a 5-minute. And then that price run there, so we'd be aiming for this fair value gap above the double top, because that's where all the stop losses are, and price just magically went there, right? So as we're coming down and digging into the stops, that is the upper quadrant of the daily fair value gap. So the green shaded area that we're in, it's the upper quadrant. Snaps up, makes a bullish order block, comes down a little bit deeper than we'd like to see, but there's another order block in the 1 minute and sub 1 minute chart that it used. SR flips our point of interest here, that deviation, and just starts sending it. So it's taking structure here, here, and here quite violently in the 5-minute, showing you a willingness to trade higher. Now, as you close outside of the fair value gap, you're going, yeah, baby. And there's another little fair value gap right there. What's left? Bam. What is that? It's a down close candle. And what is it doing? It's supporting price. Unbelievable. Leaves the fair value gap quite ruthlessly, taking that swing high there and leaving a tiny little pathetic gap here. I know you gotta count them, okay? Don't ignore them. You gotta measure. And then just order flow went to the upside here. And you guys that are sending me your charts, I know some of you guys are getting bored, and that's where you're supposed to be. This is supposed to be boring. You're like asking me, and I can feel the ones that aren't. You're ready to. What's next? Just keep going. Keep studying. Don't push it. You'll naturally gravitate toward what's next on your very own. You'll be like, wow, I really like that as an entry technique, and I'm gonna start playing it, right? And if we're going through class and I'm, going through risk management or going through the risk reward system, then you're incorporating that, or you already know about it really, and you're gonna study compound gains, because you want to really have a good grasp of win rate versus risk reward and how they work in unison with one another. Typically, we're rocking a 3-to-1 R, meaning our one risk, we're looking to get 3 reward. So, in other words, if I wanted to risk $1, I'd like to get a reward of 3. This will help you mentally prepare to lose trades. Because when you go back test your model and it wins 6 out of 10 times, you've just signed off that you are permitting yourself to lose at least 4 of your trades out of 10 and still be up. And then your buddy says, yeah, you don't got to be a genius to be a trader. And you're like, woo, I qualify. Yeah, you don't got to be a genius. You just got to have a really good level of self-control and know what you're looking for when you're looking for it. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hello. It's ripping to the moon, Captain Edge. Yeah, she's doing her job for sure. That was a nice little piece of the pie here. I am very, very, like, this choked me out because it came back for me. It was one of these two anyway. But I was definitely not revenge trading here. We call that definitely not revenge trading. But yeah, it felt great. It felt great just to be on side and be in it. And the best part was I was patient for it. That's the thing. It could have launched off of here at this time because it was the PM macro. And it did run. It did take a pool of liquidity. It just wasn't, very dynamic. Had I taken a position here, I would have gotten stopped out. So instead of, just like I told you, waiting for the stop hunt, because the dynamic sustained price runs comes from that. So instead of just going, oh, it could run from here, I'm gonna enter. I'm waiting very, very patiently for this. And if it happens, then great. And if it runs without me, then I'm butthurt. And I just go and get the cream. The butthurt cream. Was that guy got a fire extinguisher? Hey, Satoshi, that trade left without me. I just watched it go to targets without chasing. That is so underrated and so undervalued. Like, you pretty much win today. You win today. Like, you're the winner. When you start watching price and even if it's major model and you just let it go and it doesn't bug you, or you're practicing to not let it bug you, you have developed a mastery of self that you cannot purchase. You cannot buy it. There's no drink. There's no pill. There's no, oh, I'm going to make you a discipline sandwich. Here you go. No, you got to live through that experience. You have to be it in the moment, or you're not it. Not it. You're not it. What's up, Cisco? Shout out, bro. Cisco, another savage trader in here. Good job, buddy. Hey, Benga. Jolts. Yeah, Jolts is pretty lame today. And then the PM took over and was like, yeah, we're going to get it done here, bud. Good afternoon. Who's this? Nicholas. Hey, what's up, bro? Shout out +1 to Nicholas. It looks like Fergerger from here. My monitors are really far away. Forgive me. At least if you got a giggle, I'm doing a good job. Hey, what's up, Reggie? I might as well put this in here too. Yeah, BTC's just being a troll. I warn you guys about this every month. First week of the month. Don't go hard. Don't let price action make you angry because it will take everything that you have. And if you give it more, then it will take that too. And it won't say thank you either. It'll be like, it won't, there's no gimme either. It's just a, you ever see that big planet destroyer on Star Trek? And it just goes and eats planets? That's what price action is. It's just eating people's money. That's all it is. Big freaking gummy worm of. Yep. And there's no killing it. It is and always has been and always will be. Come on, bro. We know you use the VWAP. He says, holy shnikey. Boy, do I feel burned. Yeah, it's on my one of my 6 screens here, 5 screens here. Wow. I guess I get the plunger today. Oh, Cisco already got you back. Here we go. What's up? Hello, love learning. Hope everything's good in your world. There was a lot implied. Wink, wink. Yeah, you bet you off here. God bless you, bro. You either see it or you don't. That's how it is. See, it's beautiful because I can put like, or the things that I used for yesterday, ICT used completely different stuff in his lecture last night. I thought that was so cool. We both seen it the same, but we were using different PD arrays to identify and different techniques to identify what was going on. So that was kind of awesome and eye-opening. We're not all going to see everything the same way, and not everybody's going to like the same model. You know, if it's in a price run and you need, like, for example, say you were like really anxious, you just had a lot of anxiety, and you understood that the time-based price runs, and when it's in its price run, you might like a vacuum block. It opens higher than the previous candle closes. It goes, it sucks it in and it spits it out aggressively and does not come back. Now you need to understand when you're in a run. You need to understand order flow. Okay, because once that kicks in, if you find a PD array, it's after, especially after the stop hunt, it's likely going to deliver for you. The vacuum block is one of the, it's one of the most sexiest models to catch because nobody knows what the hell you're doing. It looks like you're buying a green candle and then it just runs for you. Don't push it. Don't force yourself. Just, all of my profitable students will tell you, don't force it. Don't go jumping into funded accounts. Just study, because this stuff is awesome. And share the self-control, I know, right? It's like I could just like download something for you guys or upload it to the internet. Thanks for the talk about the flout. I've been wondering for hours. It's just there's a specific time window in the day where it makes this range, and we use that range in a specific manner. You're welcome to go and take a peeky poo at. It's just you got to study it. You can watch the video, but it's not going to do you any good unless you get your hands dirty. The lazy don't do well here in smart money. And I'm not calling you lazy. I'm just throwing that out in the open. Good afternoon. Hello, Steve Trees. I caught you live. Yeah. Come on, you know you use the VWAP. You're so funny. Good morning, Darth. Trust me, bro. Target for tomorrow. I got this sneaky suspicion that it's gonna do the grand finale thing, and just go turbo retard. It's got that look in her eye. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, just so 19,938. That's pretty much programmed. Now you might be right. We might get it tomorrow. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I just saw your hashtag Patrick is a dork. Yeah, these dudes blocked me because they're kind of lame, and I mean, they don't have to be rude. But I guess he likes to stir the pot, so it's just kind of whatever. He challenged me. He challenged me, and then he blocked me. So, whatever. He's a dork. Do you trade alts and blue chips? I have no idea what an alt and blue chip is. If you're talking about crypto, I don't really trade crypto. I just buy it and sell it. That's funny. I'm pretty much a Bitcoin and Richard Hart maxi. So I do have some alternatives to Ethereum outside of the Richard Hart ecosystem. However, I mean, Jasmine's dope. It's ripping, so I'll tell you about that one. But I bought the bottom like 2 or 3 years ago. So, I mean, you know, what else did we get? We got some Shib, Doge. We just got some of the mainstream memes and stuff like that in a treasure over there somewhere. But, no, we just thought, you know. Like, lots of cryptos just like, basically it's all community, right? And I think that's pretty much why Shib did like a 6 million X. But I'm not really a crypto dude. That's Sammy's gig. I'm just a trader. If it's got a chart, I'll chart it. And if it looks yummy, I'll take a bite, right? But I'm not really like, yay, crypto. That's Sammy's shtick. I just came to make some money. That's why I wear this on my head. You're awesome, bro. Hey, what's up? What's that? Servando. Hello. Your painful insights are the wisdom I didn't know I needed to hear. Well said. Yeah. It's normal for you to feel like you've walked into a classroom and you just got out of homeschool. Yeah. Give it like a couple of weeks before you really make any judgments. Because you joined during a week where we usually just chill. It's chill week. Well, my chat keeps disappearing. Unbelievable. Hold on a second. pop-out chat. Oh my goodness, this thing is a lifesaver. There we go. Okay, how do we do this? Oh, I can't bring up the chat and you guys on the same screen. Lame. Oh well. I'll trade you this banana for some headphones. The chart looks good? Yeah. It pretends to chill. You guys are awesome. Well, it's now 10 to the hour-ish, and it wouldn't be so bad if this price point here held. And looking inside of that price point, we've got a gap. Not bad. Yeah, I see some room to go. We'll hang out for another few minutes here and see if she wants to do the thing. Mic, low volume, or maybe my ears are not working properly. Probably. Maybe a little of both. Ooh. Is this it? Is this where it does it? Let's see what happens when it touches here. Boop. Does it get rejected real hard or does it snap up? And we're checking out the time, 30 seconds. A lot can happen in 10 seconds, I tell you. It's the 15-second mark. I'm looking at this candle's high here. Let this one trade down a little bit and then start rushing up. Now, how does it treat this candle with no wick? Yes, please. Two, 1, So let's close the down close candle here. Now we need it to rush back up beyond this price point in the next 2 candles. It's got to be the close too. It doesn't count if it just tags it. For me anyway. Right there, please. Ten seconds. Ah, what a lazy close here. So it's showing us some laziness. It's got an outside trading candle. So we'll see if we can get a compression inside trading candle and then a pop. But we did take that. Nope, she went the other way. Ooh, that's awesome. If that closes green, I'm gonna laugh so much. Oh. So at this present moment, price action is not in agreement with me. And I know if you're new here, that might sound a little arrogant, and I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna wait for price action to do what I want it to do. And it can touch the pink shaded area first. But it's gotta move. What's Attili, Master Friend? Attili? It's order block. We just named order blocks Matilda, basically. It's just that Matilda is just my order block when I play it. It's like it's my model. It's not just an order block. There's things to it. It's time based. You're welcome. Hey, what's up, Dave? Fancy seeing you here. So this next candle here, I want to see it trade up a bit and smash into that pink box. And then we'll be looking for our little thing here. It's got to be a really violent smash though. Like, there's people longing that flag right now, and they're about to get rocked. And stop losses are here and right there. Look at that, the very last second it creeped up above that candle. So this is where we'd shift market structure. And take the buy stops here. This would be ideal, and we could also do this. I guess those guys were tagged out. Trading's boring, isn't it? When you're waiting for something. It's got to be mean for me to be interested. The harder that it drops, the more bullish I am, because it's deliberately taking out the longs. And we might not make another high today, just so you know. But we could likely finish that off tomorrow, or like after hours trading. Our after hours investing. Where's my homie? I didn't see you messaging yet. Where are you, buddy? You're not listening to any background music? No. No, I'm not really a YouTuber, man. I'm just a trader on YouTube. I made you guys an intro. Like, what more do you want from me? Handcrafted. Just a noob tuber. That's awesome. Stealing. Oh my goodness, come on, quit being a sissy. Friend merch, yeah. Yeah, we got some ideas coming up. Okay, so look at how this candle did not shift structure when it came up here. Okay, that was this here, right? Look at what it did here. It generated the idea that this is resistance. Okay, it might be for now, but if people are chasing the short because it's the end of the day, and trust me, bro, I just need something, please, right? They're now chasing this short, and this is where they have their stops. Why is it buy side liquidity? Because they're in a sell position, and you have to buy to cover. Okay, so if you're in a buy position, you need to sell. Who are you selling? To these losing buyers up here. Pretty simple, right? I know it's completely backwards from what you're told and what Google tells you, and that's why it works good. So that wasn't really like a nosedive slam. It did run for a piece of the pink box here in the 1 minute chart, but I like it when it's more violent. So this red line here, that was a pathetic close above there, and you can see why. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to identify where my order block is going to materialize here. So now that we've taken sell side liquidity and generated more shorts chasing, what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to continue down? Pretend for a second that you're in a trade and you're in a short. Where would you put your stop? Right there. Right there. Why there? Because that's resistance. Trust me, bro. Right? Now, does it have to go up there right this minute? No. But in 13 seconds, we'll have a pretty good idea if we are. Three, two, one. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Little extra push there. So nice. Let it trade down. And if it's in agreement with me, it'll have no problem coming here. So that would be target one acquired. If you were in a long off that bullish order block after taking a 15-minute pool of liquidity, that would be, there you go, terminus. That's how it's done. You want a good trade? Wait for stop hunts. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you next week. Peace.